In this video, I'm going to show you some common accessibility problems that appear when using a screen reader. Welcome to the Accessibility Guide channel. My name is Sean Jordison, and let's jump into the ring. Now, the goal of this video is to show you some common pitfalls that we run into and what a screen reader user might encounter when they're working with a document that is not accessible. So first and foremost, if we begin with headings in our document. This document is 8 pages and it has properly tagged headings throughout. If there were not any headings in the document, a user would have no structural elements to navigate to. This one is kind of hard to test, but let's go ahead and launch JAWS. All right, so now that we have JAWS launched, what we can do is pull up a list of headings.
Heading list dialog, headings list view.
And the heading list will allow us to navigate to all of the different headings in the document. This is super useful for jumping around larger files. And we would not be able to have this, again, if there were no headings in the document. So this is a simple example to show what will happen when you have headings or when you don't have headings. If we navigate to a heading in our document, it should announce it via the screen reader.
Heading level 1 time. Heading level 1, the evolution and impact of professional wrestling: a journey through.
The way that I'm navigating right now is just using my arrow keys, and it's just reading the top line, which is why it's announcing that way. But it did announce that it was a heading level 1 in the text, and it gives us that structural element that we can jump to, as I showed previously. What about hyperlinks? So hyperlinks are a little tricky.
Link trace its roots back to the 19th century. Left parent PDF, right parent.
So in this example, it read all of the on-screen text and it told me that it was a PDF. That was because I designed this document to be screen reader friendly. We can also pull up a list of hyperlinks in our document by pressing Insert F7, which will bring up every single link in this document. Now, the first area that it's looking at is my table of contents, but we have all of our links directly in here, including this one, which is trace its roots back to the 19th century PDF. Now, I probably could do a better job of providing some link text for that, but here's an example that works really well. The Accessibility Guide's top 3 wrestlers 5. So that tells us this is in the table of contents area. So if the link was not properly formatted, what would happen is it wouldn't recognize that there was a link there. Like, for example, what if laid the foundation was supposed to be a link? If we didn't tag it as a link, the screen reader can't navigate to it. So I would never be able to even get to that link text. Additionally, if you have things like a full URL, the whole URL is going to be read aloud. Sometimes is okay, but a lot of the times it's kind of annoying for the user to have to listen to that full URL, especially if you have a longer URL. What about alternate text? Let's jump to this image on my screen.
The Undertaker rest in peace merch, which links to www.we.com graphic.
All right, so that's an okay alt text.
Context menu to navigate.
What if we
selection deleted.
Removed the alt text? So now let's try to read it.
Heading level 1, graphic P24, number Y is 1.
So that's an interesting alt text.
Noted, link graphic P24, number Y is 1.
So I don't know what it's reading, but it's definitely not the right alt text. If I wasn't able to see the screen, I probably would be very confused at what was being read aloud in that context. So alt text is super important to have. Less is more here. We also have tabular data in this document.
Table with 2 columns and 10 rows.
So it just announced that there's a table with 2 columns and 10 rows, but this is because it's tagged as a table in our content here. And if it was not tagged as a table, that content wouldn't be shared.
Roman reigns, 4.3.
As I navigate to the different cells of the table, if it wasn't set up correctly, it's not going to read aloud to me.
Roman reigns, 6 10 John's earnings.
And so we have the ability to determine where we are in our table as long as it's tagged correctly. We also have list items.
List of 1 items, nesting level 1. Bullet, a list of heading level, list of 15 items.
So it tells me a list of 15 items. Now, this is just sample dummy data, but what if that list was super important or the number of steps that we took mattered? If we do Accessibility Guide's top 3 wrestlers.
List of 3 items.
List of 3 items.
1, Stone Cold 2, Undertaker 3, Shawn Michaels.
It gives us that sequence of information, which is super valuable. Now, anytime we are testing with a screen reader, it's kind of hard to show when something looks bad because there's so much bad content out there. And then a lot of times it's just not read. So it's not that it maybe reads so much incorrectly, it's that it will not read at all. And that's almost worse than it reading incorrectly. Now, in this video, I just used JAWS, but if you want to check out a free screen reader for Windows PC, there is NVDA available for free. I have that on here too. I personally test my documents with JAWS and NVDA, but I wanted to give you a snapshot of some of the common issues that we run into when testing our documents for accessibility. Now, if you want to find out how I can help you get accessible, I'm offering free 15 minutes to anyone that wants to talk shop. I can help your organization get accessible, and as always, I can be your champion for inclusion. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.